the SEC approval will be a green light for institutions who have been holding back. Now, we've had a big anticipatory move here. It wouldn't be surprising if we saw a sell on the news. That's an expression in the market. Sell it. You have a lot of anticipation. A price moves up. The event happens, and then especially fast trading organizations sell on the news. But beyond that, I think will be just maybe a very short-term phenomenon. I think that the institutional push into Bitcoin will be quite significant to the price. In fact, in our price expectations going forward, the biggest contributor is institutions. As they move, they don't have to move very much in. They can move, there are trillions of dollars in assets to be allocated. If they just move in 0.1%, forget about 1%, but even 0.1 or 0.2%, that will move the needle, especially as we know, the number of Bitcoin outstanding right now is about 19.5 million. And the furthest that number is going to go is 21 million. So the scarcity value as institutions move in will begin to move the price, we believe.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. Now, guys, I told you in 2023 in the first quarter, we would get an event, and now we have the banking collapse, which the master magicians pulled off the perfect distraction. And at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, guys, we're going to have another main event. Now, of course, the markets will still pump and dump until we get that next crisis. Guys, we know they're going to pull that rug. And all we have to do is watch the Fed to know exactly when that's about to happen. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, guys, we have Bitcoin, cryptos, and stocks up. And the only thing you have to do is look at the actual indicators. Remember, I told you this week is going to be a roller coaster ride as usual, because we have futures ending on Friday. And then, guys, of course, it's like clockwork. We go into the beginning of the month, and January is going to be wild. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, guys, do not forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. The most important, as we see, yield rates are plummeting, and the dollar is plummeting. And, guys, we know that is wonderful for the markets. And the emerging markets also benefit, which we know they're going to be leading the 4th Industrial Revolution in 2024. Now, remember, I told you yield rates, the 10-year yield can only go down to 3.75. And we're getting close. And I'm basing that off of what Jerome Powell stated about the rate cuts. And then, guys, we have volume and crypto up. We have Tether, USDC, and TUSD. And we have Tether mints 1 billion USDT for inventory replenish. So, guys, make sure you're keeping an eye on Tether. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo yesterday was at $793 billion, which we know is slightly up. And, guys, when we're looking at the rally over the past few weeks, we point to the Fed. We know as soon as Jerome Powell stated that the Fed could be cutting rates, we saw the bond market react. We saw yield rates react. And then, of course, stocks and crypto started to pump. So we saw the Fed manipulate markets right in front of our face. But again, guys, the Fed hasn't started cutting rates. And we know we're not at 2% inflation yet. So that means in order for the Fed to cut rates, we need a distraction. We need the master magicians to bring on a crisis. Now, we know the inflation that we have right now is all corporate greed. But we also heard Jerome Powell say that he didn't expect to get to 2% inflation until 2026. And in a lot of areas, guys, we're seeing hyper deflation. But remember, the NWO calls the problem, wait for the reaction, and run in with the solution. And the solution, robots, algorithms, and drones, blockchain, digital currencies, which will take out 60 to 70% of humanity out the workforce and will increase productivity. And that's what they want. And we've already seen the test done. People sitting at home getting free money. But this time, guys, it's going to be these stable coins, CBDCs, telling them what, where, and when and how to buy, and they have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, do not forget about Grayscale, sent about $33.1 billion. Now, we have Grayscale refiles Bitcoin ETF application as Barry Silbert departs. And getting over into a little crypto news, we have ARK's Cathie Wood sees short-term effect on spot Bitcoin ETF as sell on the news. And guys, like I've told you time and time again, we already have spot Bitcoin ETFs across the globe. And we can clearly see they were pricing in majority of the approval. And now we're getting a lot of the mainstream media analysts stating that the spot Bitcoin ETF approval has already been priced in. And I'm not saying that these Bitcoin ETFs are not going to start picking up. But remember, guys, the fourth industrial revolution is a plan. It moves in phases. So every year it's going to pick up more and more. And that's the same thing goes for cryptocurrencies. And then lastly, guys, we have Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy buys more Bitcoin. And again, guys, he's not the CEO of MicroStrategy. The CEO never gets interviewed. It's like Michael Saylor is the CEO of Bitcoin. And we know MicroStrategy should be called Morgan Stanley. But we have MicroStrategy buys 14,600 Bitcoin valued at $615 million. And now the total holdings is $5.9 billion. And will the strategy pay off? Yes, it will. Like Michael Saylor stated, we're moving over to a new digital economy. And right now, they're stating Bitcoin is digital gold. It definitely has to be pegged to something. I don't care whether it's the machines. But we know something is a fact. Fiat is gone. In the start of 2024, we're going to have plenty of drama. And I do not see the Fed cutting rates. Even though we have the bond market letting us know that in the first quarter, most likely we may get a cut. I see in the first quarter the NWO setting up the distraction and the crisis, so therefore to lead to a cut in the summer or beginning of the fall. And we know the drums are getting louder and louder. But remember, guys, that's all a distraction for the rise of the robots, algorithms, and drones that take the economy over, and the sheep that go inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.